Someone, are you creative visionary? Someone. I see you. Soul of humanity. I see you. I see the presence of divinity within you. The presence of love. I see you with my third eye. I see you. I see you. Sawubona. Welcome to Itemba Temple. Hope in your body temple. Hope in your body temple. Activating hope in your body temple. We are here. Good morning. Good morning. I figured out what was happening with my microphone. I updated OBS, and when I updated OBS, my microphone disconnected for some reason, and I was like, that is so bizarre. So bizarre. But now I fixed it. The joys of live streaming. The joys of live streaming. And my girlfriend next door, she's banging away at her piano. She never bangs away at her piano. But, today she just decided to bang away at her piano. So we're going to have some music in the background. So, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to a very powerful day. Very powerful day. So today I would like for us to, we have a heavy topic today. And I would love for us to go through the topic with loving compassion for ourselves, and loving compassion for those we have been in relationship with. So it's a very heavy topic. So today what I would like for us to do is close our eyes, as we always do when we start off our live streams, our ceremonies in Itemba Temple. And take a deep breath in through the nose and lift the eyes to the third eye, the center of your forehead. Lift your eyeballs, roll them up. If you want to lift your shoulders, and then breathe. And sigh. Good. I'm going to move some energy. I think it's very important for us to move some energy as we are working through this energy that is coming through, especially the energy that we're going to be working through today. So we're just going to move some energy. You're going to hear me play some rattles. All I ask you to do is just keep breathing, okay? Keep breathing. And then I'm going to give you a transmission. Just keep breathing. And please keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Moya mi, buye kaya. Moya mi, buye kaya. Moya mi, buye kaya. Moya mi, buye kaya. Mazimele sinto, ezikre mazile zinto ezikwe ngomoya wami, mazile zinto ezikwe ngomoya wami, mazile zinto ezikwe ngomoya wami, moya wami, moya wami, buya ekhaya, moya wami, moya wami, buya ekhaya, moya wakho, buya ekhaya, moya wakho, buya ekhaya, umzimba wakho uyingcwele, ingqondo yakho ingcwele, moya wakho, buya ekhaya, moya wakho, buya ekhaya, mazile zinto ezikwe ngomoya wakho, mazile zinto ezikwe ngomoya wakho. Invoking the sacred template of Tantra, tantric connection between Christ consciousness, Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene. Invoking that understanding from a higher perspective of tantric love. Mary Magdalene and the Yeshua. Invoking the healing presence of Osset in our own understanding of love. Invoking Anpu in our understanding of decision making in a sea of choices. Invoking the love that we come from, that we are. To be the energy that speaks through me, that you hear from, and that you choose how you move forward after you've heard the channel that comes through me. Invoking love as the highest vibration of our time together. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And as you sigh out that deep breath, make sure that you drop the shoulders. You are here. I am here. Held by love and true understanding. We are the presence of divinity, the face of love. And from that place, we choose wisdom. We choose understanding for ourselves and our journey in relation to others and with ourselves first. So I give thanks for this moment, knowing that it is a holy moment. It is a moment of pure love and understanding, and we hear from that love and understanding so that we can awaken to the highest, most loving version of ourselves. I give thanks for this, and so it is. Please make sure that you open your eyes, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's good to breathe. Yes. It's good to breathe. It's good to breathe. Aibo. 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 That's Zulu for oh my goodness. Aibo. I'm teaching you Zulu. Aibo. 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 Good morning, my lovers, my love bugs. I guess we should have a chitty chat. Actually, I'll have a chitty chat with you while I'm reading. Shall we read? So, have you noticed that I've started the live streams? So, when I first started live streams, it was music, which I really love music. I'm working on the precepts. They call it precepts, okay? So live stream precepts, where I'm working on the coloring, which are called LUTs, okay? I'm teaching the educated. So I'm working on that so that my one woman mental health show can be sexy, like hella sexy, like hella sexy. I'm working through all of this stuff. But I was working on the audio. The audio is so important to me. It's like because I'm an artist, I'm very particular about some things, and I become a little bit of a perfectionist. And yesterday we were talking about perfectionism, who said what is perfect, but when it comes to audio, it's like, so I'm working on that. But now recently we have begun to center in and be in a space of invoking divine wisdom and divine love. So the reason this book is called Truth Seekers Detox, Rewiring Your Nervous System for Authentic Living, authentic living, is because whatever is flowing through you as you heal, as you awaken, as you tap into your authentic self, whatever flows through you is perfect for that moment. It's perfect for that moment. Just be in the flow. Just live the flow. Just be you. Just be you. Just be you. Just be you. You know what I mean? You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to model anybody else's way of being in the world. Figure out who you are, what you are, and be comfortable with that, and just get really good at being yourself. It's such an incredible journey. You have such great sleep. So, I love sleep. Oh my God. Not because I'm lazy, but because if I sleep well, I make better choices. Okay. So shall we read? Day 73. Relational life. The betrayal of intimate partnership. I have not committed adultery. Maria closes her laptop quickly as her husband Carlos enters their bedroom. Her heart pounding from the intimate conversations she's been having with her college boyfriend through social media. For weeks, she's been sharing her marriage struggles and romantic fantasies with someone who understands her in ways that feel forbidden and thrilling. Her emotional affair violates the sacred trust of her marriage, while her body craves the attention that makes her feel alive again. Alive again. Her nervous system has learned to compartmentalize, creating separate spaces where her emotional infidelity feels justified by Carlos's emotional distance. The bedroom they share now feels like a stage where she performs the role of faithful wife while her authentic emotional life unfolds in secret conversations that betray the intimate covenant. Relational adultery occurs when we betray the sacred trust of intimate partnership through secret emotional, physical, or spiritual connections that violate our deepest relational commitments. Our nervous system creates elaborate justifications for infidelity, convincing us that secret intimacy serves love rather than betraying it. Embodiment practice. Sit facing an empty chair and imagine your intimate partner sitting there. Feel into any areas where you've been unfaithful through secret connections, emotional affairs, or divided loyalty, and say, I choose relational integrity as an act of love and respect for our sacred partnership. Okay. Shall we read again? I have not committed adultery. Maria closes her laptop quickly as her husband Carlos enters their bedroom, her heart pounding from the intimate conversation she's been having with her college boyfriend through social media. For weeks, she has been sharing her marriage struggles and romantic fantasies with someone who understands her in ways that feel forbidden and thrilling. Okay. Maria, go. Okay. Maybe. Okay, fantasies. Maybe you're a fantasy sci-fi writer. That's why this gift or this thing is coming out through your social media writing experiences. Maybe you really are a writer, and what's coming through you is this activation of your gift for writing. And maybe you're a sci-fi novel writer, and this is what you should be doing instead of reconnecting with Carlos. No, reconnecting with your old boo thing. You know, there's always a reason why we do what we do as human beings. Usually there's like sometimes our gifts come through in a very interesting way. Okay. Maria here is feels forbidden. I used to read a lot of romance novels. Honestly, I read a lot of romance novels. You can get them on these free books, like on Kindle. There's like free books or 99-cent books where authors, when they release their books, they give them away for free on KDP, and they will give away their books for free, or you can buy them for 99 cents. And while I was, I think 10 years ago, I wanted to learn how to write better. I took a course in copywriting, and I wanted to learn how to write better, because love is the most powerful drug. Was I still teaching stock marketing? Yeah, no, I was still teaching my stock market. I still had my stock market business. I started buying these romance novels. Actually, let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you the truth. I had a stock market client an amazing, amazing brother. And we used to have these long conversations about the nature of life. And he was trying to get me to be a Jehovah's Witness. And I was like, no, brother, I can't. He was trying to convert to me. And then I don't know how we got to talk, because it was one of our coaching calls, a stock market coaching calls. And then after that, he was talking to me about something. Oh, I asked him, so how did you actually find my business? How did you find my website? And how did you know about me? He's like, oh, I read one of your books. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, I watched your YouTube videos. And I was like, wow, this girl's onto something. She knows a lot about stock market. I said, yeah, of course, because I worked on Wall Street. And then he was like, have you seen these romance books online? I said, yeah, I mean, I used to read romance books because I read, when I first got to America, I read Shopaholic. There's a series it's called the Shopaholic series. I loved those girly books, right? Even the cover of the book was pink. I really loved those girly books. So I was telling him about these books, these romance novel books that I had read. And then he told me about how Black authors are making a lot of money online with romance, like steamy romance books. I was like, they are? He was like, yeah, you should go and check it out. And I was telling him about my adventure in copywriting and how I want to learn how to write better copy. And as a mystic and a shaman, understanding the power of love, I was like, I've loved reading romance novels. My husband loves watching rom-com, I think because he was raised by his mother. He just loves watching that stuff, and I've never understood why. I would rather read, he would rather watch these rom-coms. So my brother was talking to me about, he was like, yeah, you must download those books. You must check them out. They are very steamy. I was like, oh, okay, let me go try. I probably read 2 or 3 and I couldn't get through it. It was just a lot of like romance stuff. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Most of the books that I read were business, but I really wanted to engage the right hemisphere of my brain, because I'm like, if you read a lot of just dry business books and finance books and psychology books, it just becomes a lot dry. And I wanted to learn how to sell stock market, the concepts of stock market trading in a more interesting way. So romance books were the way to go. So we don't really, so with Maria, sometimes your gifts, your talents that you forgot in high school will show up in a way where you are now having a secret affair with someone from high school, and that secret affair is really asking you to look at the things you loved in childhood that you've forgotten because now you're busy with like being an adult. And so it shows up in what we would call an unhealthy way. But honestly, I have 2 little birds. Oh, how beautiful. Oh my goodness, they are such beautiful birds. I'm so sorry, but like, I've never seen 2 beautiful birds just sitting here. It is so cute. It's like these little hummingbirds. And there's no hummingbirds in Bangkok, but I have 2 hummingbirds sitting on my deck. What? You can't make this stuff up. Okay. So anyway, sometimes as humans, we get busy with your regular life, right? We get busy with being an adult. We get busy with children, with marriage, with relationships, with paying our bills, with progressing in our careers. But the inner child never forgets the true purpose of you being here. I have always loved writing. I have always loved reading. But for me, it was always love, love. And I saw how love can be manipulated. And growing up, I saw how, it can start off very loving and then it turns really toxic. And then I met an incredible man who just loves love. My husband just loves love. He is love. But so writing has always been my thing. So Maria could be living the same situation where writing is a passion of hers that she has forgotten from childhood. Now she's on the social medias writing long paragraphs, long things with Carlos. Because why? Carlos not Carlos, but her lover, her booting, her bathing there while she's married. This Carlos guy, this lover of hers is reminding her, because it's a high school love affair, is reminding her of the passion she had for writing. But now she's using that, not understanding what this energy that is coming through her is seeking and asking her to remember about her gifts. So now she's just using it as a love affair, but truly it is love, because she loved sci-fi writing, possibly, right? Let's see. She's been having with her college boyfriend through social media. So in social media, you write a lot, maybe you speak a bit, but most of the time it's a lot of writing on social media, is it not? Right. So if she's been writing for weeks, she's been sharing her marriage struggles and romantic fantasies with someone who understands her in ways that feel forbidden and thrilling. Maybe she's a romance writer. Maybe this is what she is. But now she's is not going to therapy, which I do not understand why she's not going to therapy. So she's using her relational struggles as an initiation to look at herself, but she doesn't look at herself. She goes and finds something on the outside or somebody on the outside who understands her. But maybe Maria needs to go back to her passion. If she probably thought about it, maybe her passion was writing. Maybe her passion in childhood was, forbidden. Because a lot of us women read romance novels. I was sharing with you yesterday that at church, I liked two boys and I would daydream. I mean, I was probably like 10 years old or 11 years old, 12 years old. I would daydream about, the beautiful life I would have with these boys and the beautiful children. We like these things as women. It's like somebody has trained or implanted an idea in women's brains that, your life should be to find the perfect partner, get married, and have beautiful children and build this beautiful house like Martha Stewart and have everything beautiful, copacetic, and, this will be the ideal for life. And come to find out, it doesn't turn out like that. Thank goodness for me, I saw my parents and I saw a lot of people in South Africa with dysfunctional relationships. And I was like, damn, man, that thing is not real. It's a fantasy. It's a delusion, illusion, lies, and confusions. So I became fascinated with psychology to figure out why these relationships don't work and people then end up beating each other, harming each other, divorces, and all sorts of these things. So, okay. So maybe Maria, darling, for weeks she's been sharing her marriage struggles and romantic fantasies with someone who understands her in ways that feel forbidden and thrilling. Okay. Her emotional affair violates the sacred trust of her marriage while her body craves the attention that makes her feel alive again. Maria, it is your job to feel alive again. Maybe you need to start working out, sweetheart. Maybe you need to start doing some yoga or something. Maybe you need to join girlfriend classes where you're going to go and do boot camp outside and have a sexy boot camp instructor, and yet you're going to be working out your body. And when you come back from that experience, you are drenched in sweat. Your body and your dopamine and your endorphins and your hormones are balanced from just a pure hard workout. Maybe this is it. When I need to feel alive, I used to put Shanti, in Beachbody. because I know then I'm going to have a sexy body and then my husband can look at my sexy body. Yeah, put Shanti, beachbody.com. If you're going to work out like that, you will feel alive. I used to do insanity workouts. Yo, those workouts, yo, they were something, okay? But Shanti was so sexy, and he would like, dig in, deeper, dig in. And by the time I'm done, yo, I would feel, so finished. So finished. In South Africa, I bought Billy Blanks, the South African infomercial company. One of the biggest infomercial companies in South Africa is called Glow Mail. So I used to see these ads on TV, and oh my God, I saw Billy Blanks. I said, I've never seen a man like this with so many abs and so many muscles. I said, this is quite sexy. So I went to Sandton. There's a mall, a big mall in Johannesburg, and they had a Glow Mail store. So I saw the ad on TV and they had a Glow Mail store. I went to the store and I went and bought these DVDs every morning. I used to do. No, it was VHS. I used to do Billy Blanks. Change your mind, change your life, But I was looking at a very sexy man. And during this time when I was first doing Billy Blanks, my relationship was falling apart with homeboy high up in the mafia. And he started getting really abusive because he would start drinking a lot now. And I was like, okay, my relationship is over here. It is over. So I just went and bought myself DVDs, Billy Blanks, started. And I was working out. And I was working out with Billy Blanks. And I was looking at this man. I was like, damn, man, this man is so sexy with his abs. And he's like, Taibo, change your mind. Change your life. I swear to you. And I started having a little bit of abs. And that just got my body like thrilled, like alive. And I was also going to therapy at the same time. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is that sometimes our relationships are finished. Truly, they are just finished. It's like the relationship has come to the end. And it's okay that the relationship has come to the end. Sometimes it is because of childhood wounding. You saw your parents stay together in a relationship that wasn't serving them. So you believe now, okay, I need to stay in this relationship even though it does not serve me, but I will just get my kick from outside. But getting your kick from outside might create a lot more problems. Then instead of just accepting this relationship is done. For me, when I knew that relationship was done, I had an incredible life. If you don't know the story, it's like day number, but Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday when I was talking about gambling. So I knew that my relationship was done. It was finished. And I didn't have the confidence. Well, I had the confidence because I had a job and I could get out of that relationship and get myself an apartment. But the emotional confidence, I didn't have it because I was indoctrinated and still living through the indoctrination of divorce is bad, leaving relationships are bad, you've got to stick it out because I saw my mother stick it out and I have this massive ring on my finger and I'm living this incredible, beautiful life. And I would talk to my mother about it. My mother was like, but look, you have a really great life. He takes care of you. He doesn't beat you. And I'm like, but no, the mental, psychological abuse is a lot. But you have a really great life. You live in a beautiful house. I was like, fuck that. I'm out of here. I leave. I leave. I don't stay. Okay. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you if you don't leave. I just have that kind of a personality. I don't put up with bullshit. I just walk out. I don't care. Like, let the chips fall where they may. I don't care. Okay, I'm a bit of an alien and a bit of a crazy person, but I think I witnessed abuse and I experienced abuse too much in my life that I don't tolerate ignorance. I don't care. So, but to get out of that relationship for me, I went and bought Taibo, Billy Blanks, and I started working out. Kick. And in that working out, It built the confidence with me. It took me about 3 months of just consistent Billy Blanks every morning before going to work at the tech firm and just kicking. And then one day I just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I can't deal with this. I cannot. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how great this life is. I don't care how big this ring is. I don't care. I don't care. I'm out. I went and lived in a very small apartment. Like, not if it was a studio apartment, and I had to start from scratch. I had to start over. And I was like, it doesn't matter. My peace is more important. My peace is more important. If I hadn't made that choice, I would never have traveled the world. Okay, possibly I would have traveled the world, but not like the way I've traveled. And not like the woman I am today. So sometimes our relationships are over. And instead of admitting and facing the fact that, you know what, this relationship is done, it's finished, we choose then to go out and about and do our things, go into fantasy land, delusion, illusions, lies, and confusions, which create devastating consequences. And especially in this day and age with such diseases, HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, I don't understand how. I think it's a lack of education, maybe, a lack of self-love, a lack of nervous system regulation, attachment, wounding. We are attaching. We want to attach, loving each other. Let's have sex. I was watching a podcast, and this young boy. He was talking about that the generation, he was like a Gen Z. He was like, what is it? Hookup culture. I'm like, you're hooking up and you're not wearing condoms. And then you come back to your husband after you've hooked up without wearing a condom. And now you have HIV. And now you give your husband HIV and he finds out and he was faithful to you. And you have children or you've built a life together. Now you give your husband HIV. Now he's got a disease that he never intended to have. How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself? Even the husbands too. They are out, hook up. When did hookup culture become a thing? I just want to ask. And why is hookup culture a thing where you do not wear condoms? What happened here? What happened? Okay. I think it's latchkey children, where the mothers are working, the fathers are working. So you are being raised by YouTube. You are being raised by porn. You are being raised by your friends who are like, yeah, hookup culture is okay. Bumble and Tinder, I don't have a problem. I've never used these things. I used Match.com in college. I had to write a paper about it. So I went through Match.com. That's the last time I logged into these things. Madison, I was reading on Reddit about Madison something. I said, okay. What is the energy underneath all of this? What is the energy? Okay, we can say it's loneliness. But we've talked about this. There is no such thing as loneliness. Honestly, when you really think about it, there's no such thing as loneliness. Because if you started with introspection, if Maria started with introspection and just sat with herself, okay, why am I doing this? Maybe because my boothing from high school used to remind me of the thrill and passion of writing. So now I've taken a career in finance and I hate this career. I've taken a career in tech and I really do not like this. I really just want to be a fantasy romance writer. Maybe this is truly what I want to be. But no, I needed to make my parents proud of me. I needed to live up to this idea of what society wants me to be. So now I'm connecting back to the part of me who was 16 and fell in love and this romance. And now I need to feel alive. Maybe you need to go to therapy. But because there aren't enough therapists and there aren't enough relationship coaches, and relationship coaches are telling people that you need to find somebody to love you outside, and they're not telling you this, stop. Introspection, love thyself. Regulate your nervous system, and then love thyself. They're not telling you this. They're telling you this is how you pick up someone, this is how you get into a relationship, and these people are married 10 years. I'm married 23 years. Okay. I've been with my husband 23 years. Truly, self-love is the only relationship coach you need to have. And it takes a lot of introspection. It takes regulating your nervous system. Because once you start with regulating your nervous system, self-love eventually it just flows through you. You become so magnetic, so alive. So alive. You don't need to be in somebody else's bed to feel alive. You become alive because you tap into the parts of you that were 16 that were never fulfilled. That energy is still sitting there. The energy of I want to be a writer, the energy of I love a romance through writing. So now it's coming out as you now trying to have an affair with the guy who was 16, who you were in love with, that made you feel that energy of aliveness. So Maria, maybe darling, you need a little bit of introspection. Our lives are a 24-hour job. If you really think about it, you wake up, you meditate, you drink coffee, you take a shower, you get your children ready or yourself ready, you get out the door, you drive, you take the subway to work, you spend 10 hours at work, 12 hours. You come home, you are exhausted. You still got to get your clothes ready for the next day. You have to go to happy hour or whatever you've got to do. When do you have time to be generating, finding boo things, bae things outside here, outside of a relationship? It's exhausting just thinking about just the thought of that is exhausting. It's like exhausting. Okay, yeah, maybe I live a boring life, but it's exhausting just thinking about it. But okay, I get myself involved in these adultery things because I walk around and I say to people, sure, you are so handsome. And then I'll have a 15-20 minute conversation. But I always come home and I tell my husband about it. Yesterday I had an affair with a guy from Belgium. And we were sitting there talking in the mall for 20 minutes because I met this guy last year in Kopangan at the hot springs. Not hot springs, but sweating onsen. Okay, so I had like a 2 hour conversation with him last year, and we were just talking about all sorts of things, all sorts of topics, and then come to find out that he was working for the UN, and so now he's finished with his contract and was here in Bangkok. So I had a 20-minute conversation with him. It was so nourishing to just have a 20-minute conversation with him about life. Just about life, because sometimes being with one person is kind of boring, you know. And so anyway, I guess I had an affair yesterday. I had this conversation with this guy, 20 minutes. We had a real beautiful conversation, and he was telling me about the UN and the ins and outs of the UN and all. I was like, oh, thank you so much. But he was teaching me something that I didn't know about. I was asking him questions about the UN and stuff. And then we had a hug, and then off he went and off I went. No exchange of numbers, no exchange of, hey, let's meet up another time. No, thank you. That was enough. I am a married woman. And anyway, when I meet somebody who's handsome, I usually tell them, yo, you're so handsome. I'm not hitting on you. I'm married. Okay, so I guess, I'm a flirt too. But for me, I love myself. I know the boundaries of my relationship. And when I'm usually having a conversation with someone, I usually learn something that I need to learn, because before I leave the house, I ask Spirit, please teach me what I need to learn. And if there is someone that I need to meet outside that is going to teach me what I need to learn for the next stage of my evolution, please bring them with loving kindness, compassion, and understanding, so that I can share something with them and they can share whatever I need to learn for this moment. And clearly, I needed to learn about the UN. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so this guy showed up that I had already met last year. So for me, I'm thinking, where do we get the time to be busy with other things? Your life is a 24-hour job. After coming back and meeting that guy from Belgium, I sat for 2 hours now thinking about the UN and all of the stuff about the UN. 2 hours. After every interaction, there is an exchange of energy. And that exchange of energy lingers, whether it is through a hug or whether it's through a conversation. I had a 20-minute conversation with this guy. After that, there was another 2 hours of thinking about that conversation. Why would I want to engage with the UN? Which part of the UN do I engage with? Is it the UN woman? Is it this branch of the UN? Oh, he said this about the UN. 2 hours of my life thinking about this conversation, 20-minute conversation that I had with a guy about the UN. An extra 2 more hours of my life. Where do you have the time? Where do we get the time as people? Okay, no judgment. I'm just planting an idea so that we can think about what we do, what we engage in. So this fantasy feel forbidden and thrilling. Her emotional affairs violate the sacred trust of her marriage, while her body craves the attention that she feels. So the body craves the attention to feel alive. Honey bun, maybe you just need to go work out. Just like get Beachbody with Shanti. He's built a lot more muscles. I just was on Beachbody like a week ago, and I said, damn man, Shanti has built a lot more muscles. Shanti. He does Insanity. He does, there's a dancing one that he has, like hip hop dancing, and he has a lot of programs. Just get yourself Shanti and just watch that man's sexy body, and he'll help you feel alive, okay? And maybe you need to go to couples therapy, and maybe the relationship is over and it's okay. But if you grew up in a family where marriage, divorce, or relationships falling apart was a sin and was looked down upon, you'll stay in a relationship that doesn't work. But maybe you can just go to couples therapy, or maybe go to individual therapy and say, you know what, this is done. I don't really want to be here anymore. I don't feel alive in this relationship. But I would suggest that maybe you start with feeling alive first with your own body by working out. And as you start working out, you start questioning, okay, but like, why am I staying here? Is it because I have changed and he hasn't grown? Is it because we both haven't grown together? What's going on here? You start asking yourself questions instead of taking the easy way out. The easy way out is like, yeah, I'm just going to go cheat. But you might come back with diseases. And now you've got more problems now that are unnecessary. Okay? Her nervous system has learned to compartmentalize, creating separate spaces where her emotional infidelity feels justified by Carlos's emotional distance. Okay, Carlos, you need therapy too, my darling. Because men don't usually emote. Their emotional world is very stunted. Very stunted. Nobody has ever taught men about their emotions. And so we blame these men. Oh, he doesn't give me as much attention anymore, so I'm going to go find attention somewhere else. No, maybe, woman, you need to start looking within, some introspection. These men are not going to give you the attention you need. They are not. Honestly, they are not. For me, I don't get attention from men. I don't go out seeking attention from men. I'm usually connecting with men for solutions and ideas. But emotional fulfillment from men, they don't even know their own emotions half the time. These men are children. I love men all my life. Well, I always love men. But honestly, after being my dad's therapist since I was 8 years old, I'm like, these men are children. When it comes to emotional intelligence, they are very young. So you're wanting a thrill from a man? Woman? No, honey, it doesn't work like that. No, darling, it doesn't work like that. These men cannot give you that emotional thrill. It can last maybe like 2 months, a year. Maybe they can give you that emotional. But honestly, you need that for yourself. Because these men come to us for that sense of emotional safety, emotional fulfillment. Yeah, there are some men who are emotionally intelligent and who are self-fulfilled. But these men come out of our womb. Okay. The bedroom they share now feels like a stage where she performs the role of faithful wife while her authentic emotional life unfolds in secret conversations that betray their intimate covenant. Okay. Relational adultery occurs when we betray the sacred trust of intimate partnership through secret emotional, physical, or spiritual connections that violate our deepest relational commitments. I don't think there's anything to shame yourself for. We don't know what it is. Like, I started off with, maybe Maria loved the art of writing. And during childhood or teenagehood, she just loved reading romance novels. And now that her relationship has gone dry, she wants to spark that connection of the romance novels that she used to read when she was 15, 14, 13, 16, 17, and she had a lover. You have no idea why you're doing what you're doing until you sit down and introspect. What does intimacy mean? Into me you see. But I'm sorry, you want somebody to have intimacy with you. Into me you see, but yet you don't want to look at into me I see. It makes no sense, darlings. How about introspection, intimacy with self? Into me I see. Because into me I see, then I can look at that and I'm like, yo, I don't like that about how I respond, how I engage, how I react in stressful situations. That part of me, I really don't like. So how about I heal this part of me, observe this energy, grow from these experiences, instead of love myself, honor myself, respect myself, instead of seeking that from the outside, because you're never going to get what you are not willing to give or what you are not. You hate yourself, you're going to find somebody who hates you. They might start off as if they love you, but eventually they'll hate you because this is what you are. Self-hatred, which is not even the truth of your being. It's a lie that you've picked up from somewhere. It doesn't work like this. You know? So the bedroom they share feels like a stage where she performs the role of faithful wife while her authentic emotional life unfolds in secret conversations that betray her intimate. Okay, we've read that. Relational adultery occurs when we betray the sacred trust of intimate relationships through secret emotional, physical, or spiritual connections that violate our deepest relational commitments. Our nervous system creates elaborate justifications for infidelity, convincing us that secret intimacy serves love rather than betraying it. It serves love. At what cost? At the cost of you getting a disease and passing it on to your boo thing, your spouse? At what cost? I have been talking to my children. I have children. 22-year-olds. I call them my children because honestly, they could have been my children at 44. So I have these young ones that come from Myanmar. And with this end of US aid, Myanmar population cannot get access to the medication, HIV medication. So I've been walking around because the Myanmar population that live in Thailand came because of the war that is happening in Myanmar. So I was teaching the Myanmar children when I was living on the island. So I got involved in that community. I really got to understand the community. I really got to understand their struggles and the war and how they were integrating into Thai society. Okay. So here in Bangkok, they usually are working in hospitality, food, fast food. So I usually go to the food court at one of the malls where I've now got children. And every time I go there, I have a conversation with my children. I'm like, if you do not wear a condom, you risk getting a disease. Incurable. And HIV, when you get HIV, it is incurable at the moment. And because there are funding has been cut, if you get HIV, you will not be able to get medication and you will die. You have left Myanmar, crossed the border during war. You made it all the way to this country where you are welcomed. You have a job. You are starting your life. You are sending money back home to Myanmar to help your family. Now you are going to engage in sexual activities without a condom. Okay? I'm not saying that you mustn't have sex. Have sex if you want. But be conscious. Wear a condom. Because if you don't wear a condom and you get HIV, who's going to send money back home to Africa, to Myanmar? When I started these conversations with these young ones, they used to just be like, hey, hey. Now we have deep conversations about these truths of life. Because honestly, I'm thinking to myself, if I don't tell these young people, there's a generation now of young people that have crossed the border during war into a country working to send money back home because there's problems back in Myanmar. And if they die here because of a lack of medication, because they've cut HIV funding, who's going to send money back home? It is just my duty as an older sister to say, my darlings, they call big sister, my babies, please pay attention to your sexual activities because your mothers are not here. You are in Thailand by yourself and you're all just a group of friends, all colonizing each other, convincing each other that, oh, if I wear lipstick, I'm going to find this guy. No. Make the guy wear a condom. And if he doesn't want to wear a condom, do not have sex with him. And I even talk to the boys. I'm like, you must wear a condom because you don't know if this girl has HIV and she's now going to give you HIV. And as an Asian man, you know the responsibility you have to take care of your family back in Myanmar. I have conversations with my children here. And yes, at first they thought I was crazy. They used to say, oh, wear a condom. Hee! But it's the truth of life. It is the truth of life. You have to share these things with the young ones. Please wear a condom if you're going to hoe yourself out. Especially if you know that you have a significant partner, a husband and stuff like this. What are you doing having sex without a condom? What happened here? Okay. So let's do our embodiment practice. Sit facing an empty chair and imagine your intimate partner sitting there. Feel into any areas where you've been unfaithful through secret connections, emotional affairs, or divided loyalty. And say, I choose relational integrity as an act of love and respect for our sacred partnerships. You know, there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame in relationships because we have watched our own family and their relationship dynamics. And if you have not gone to therapy or you have not engaged in introspection and started a practice of introspection, you are making some really interesting decisions in a sea of choices. And these decisions are affecting those you say you love, including yourself. So yes, you can divorce a person, but now you've left them with HIV and children maybe. How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself? Maybe you choose not to divorce and you live together now. With the world we are living through now, especially for the countries where US aid has been cut. How do we live when we don't have introspection? When we don't have introspection, the stress of money, the stress of losing jobs to AI. When people are stressed out a lot, they have sex. I don't know why. That's why I'm encouraging you, just work out. Work out. Find a DVD on YouTube's yoga maybe, or kickboxing maybe, and just work it out. Feel alive in your body. When people are stressed and they have no money, jobs, or they're fearful of their jobs, we always tend to go to the first chakra because the first chakra is the seat of money and a sense of stability here on planet Earth. So in the first chakra, where we're supposed to be creating, this is where we are now using this energy, the sexual energy, to be creating children and diseases in our body. And for all of the countries, like I'm thinking just of South Africa. South Africa during December is Puza, is like festive season. Yo, sizojiva. Yo, sizophuza. Yo, sizojiva. Okay, so nizojiva, meaning you're going to be partying and real partying. And in these partyings and these drinking experiences, you're going to be having unprotected sex. And there is no funding for HIV medication. It's being cut. So now the spread of HIV, I must have these conversations. There's a lot of these countries that have been affected by this. And when people are stressed around money, when people feel unsafe around their jobs, when people are stressed in their relationships, which usually starts with money, people go and have more sex. It's kind of like a stress relief. I'm just releasing stress. Let me drink a bit. Oh, just release some stress. Maybe you need to get creative. This art thing. What? This creative thing. What is this thing? Yo, you want me to go and speak to a psychologist? No, I'm not saying you need to go speak to a psychologist. Maybe you come sit here and we have these conversations together. Maybe you find a DVD online, a yoga DVD. Maybe you find a kickboxing DVD on YouTube and you practice this so that you can feel alive in your body instead of going to co-regulate with someone else, risking your own life. at such a time as this when funding has been cut for these things. Okay? These are difficult conversations to have, but we must have these conversations. So Maria, darling, thank you so much for your story. Because maybe you just need to go write some thrilling romance novel books. And make sure that as you write your thrilling romance novel books, they help other people, couples or relationships that are struggling. And maybe you write for the teenage people because you're writing for that inner child, that inner teenager in you that needed to feel that romance excitement, and help the young people with what you know now as an adult. Maybe this is the story. Our gifts will show up, and if we don't really pay attention, they'll start expressing themselves in very unique ways, very interesting and unique ways as an affair. And if you don't stop and say, why am I doing this? Why? What is this? What is it that I really need? Is it that I need to feel alive? Maybe working out will make me feel alive. Maybe changing my diet will make me feel alive. Maybe detoxing will make me feel alive. Aha, maybe this is it. Maybe getting in touch with my passion and my hobbies. But we feel that hobbies are something that we shouldn't be doing. It's like, it's childlike hobbies. I'm an adult now. Let's go have drinks, girl. Okay. So I encourage you to spend a lot of time loving yourself, being interested in yourself, and remembering that your life is a 24-hour job. Nervous system regulation. It's 24 hours. Can I challenge you going into 2026 that you make your life so important? You make yourself, not from a narcissistic perspective, I'm so important. Tell me I'm important on Instagram. No, okay? This is narcissism. Nobody cares. But you invest so much of your extra time to get to know thyself. Because in getting to know thyself, you make better decisions in a sea of choices. You cannot be manipulated. Even if it all goes belly up, you can come back because you have the wisdom from introspection. You will not be responsible for billions of people's lives because you don't know what decision you're making today and how it's going to affect other people's lives in 10 years, 5 years, 15 years. Oh, but I'm just a lowly person. Yeah? Some of the presidents that are now presidents, they didn't know that they were going to be presidents. They didn't. Maybe they were... I'm thinking just of like the South African president. He was born, okay? And during apartheid. Okay, let's not even talk about him. Let's talk about Nelson Mandela. He was born. I don't think his parents knew that he was going to be president of South Africa after living in Robben Island for 27 years. I don't think his parents knew this. And that his life and the decisions that he was making throughout his life were going to affect 50 million people. I don't think his parents knew this. I don't think he knew this. So you never know where you're going to be. You never know what decision you make 20 years from now and how it is going to affect you 20 years later. You don't know. But when you become so interested in yourself, when you become so in love with the God in you, your decisions then are centered from a place of love because there is self-love within you. And so you will never make decisions that will harm other people because you would never make a decision that would harm your own body, your own life. Maybe Donald Trump knew that he was going to be president. Maybe his dad told him. But I don't think Nelson Mandela knew. I don't think Mother Teresa knew that she was going to be a nun. She wanted to be a nun at 12 years old. When I read her story, I don't think Thy Holiness, but maybe Thy Holiness the Dalai Lama knew. Because, some of us know. I came in knowing, but my full knowing came at 12 when I was like, I want to be a nun. Because I saw the fighting with me and my parents. I was like, oh my God, I just want to be a nun. I just want to be a nun. So my partially awakening came at 12 years old. I was like, oh my God. But now I noticed that part of awakening is not just sitting as a nun. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Yes, that was part of the journey. But the other part of the journey is having these conversations, because when I was at the temple, I was realizing that the people that were coming to the temple were in desperate need of these conversations. I was having these kinds of conversations with people that were coming to the temple to meditate. And as the nun, I was the psychologist. And I said, oh my goodness, I might as well disrobe, because I like to dance a bit, and I like to put my eyelashes, and I like to talk to all these handsome men out here on the streets and these beautiful women. I'm thankful for the time I've spent in the temple. I disrobe, I disavow. And let me go have these conversations, because at the temple, I'm already having these conversations because people are coming to the temple crying. So I might as well go and have these full-on conversations that I was having with people at the temple. There was women coming at the temple just crying, couples coming to the temple. And I was just like, damn, man, these things are something. These things are something. So I'm just continuing my work now on a global scale. So, human beings, please love yourselves, my darlings. Okay? Your big sister Tembi is here not to judge you. I don't care about judging. Why do I want to judge you? I don't care. This is what I tell my children here in Thailand, in Bangkok. I'm like, I don't care about judging you, sweetheart. You can tell me what is wrong. One of them was telling me that the boyfriend doesn't do the laundry. Because I was asking her, why is your English not improving? I don't understand. Why is your English not improving? She's like, I work too much. I'm so busy. When I get home, I need to do laundry. I need to cook for my boyfriend. And so I said to the boyfriend, I'm sorry, but like, she's cooking for you. She's cleaning the house and she's having sex with you. And you're not teaching her how to speak English? What is wrong with this picture? Oh, the English started getting better. This was 3 months ago. The English has improved. The confidence has improved. I'm like, you see? Big sister, just yelling. Just yelling. They're 22 years old, 21, 23. So I'm not here, my darlings, to shame you, to make you feel bad about yourself. Sometimes, yes, I am a Zulu woman. I come with a little veracity. Voracious, like Cardi B would say. I'm voracious. It's actually ferocious, not voracious. But Cardi B would say voracious. Ferocious. Sometimes, the Zulu energy is just as like, yo. But I'm not really here to shame you. I don't care about shaming you. Why? You're not going to change if I shame you. You're going to not want to hear me. Even if I speak nicely. Because I know myself. Somebody's like trying to shame me. I'm just like, go fuck yourself. But maybe that's the conversation that I really need to hear. Okay? So I think you need to practice this for yourself. You need to practice this for yourself. I think we can close off. So I think what we need to do is write a letter. Yeah. Write a letter. A release practice. Write a letter to your intimate partner expressing any area where you've been unfaithful through secret connections or divided loyalty. Whether you share it or not, feel the weight of carrying secrets and say, I release all relational adultery and choose complete devotion to sacred partnership. Maybe we should start with sacred intimacy. Into me, I see for myself. Not wanting somebody else to see into you. No. Into me, I see through introspection. Okay? So if you have some, maybe it was even like high school where you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend that hurt your feelings and you haven't gotten over it. And just having this conversation with you is like, oh, I remember. And maybe that's why I treat women badly. And maybe that's why I don't trust men and I just treat men as like, you know what, these men. Because there's some wounding there. And maybe you can just look at it without making yourself bad. Without judging yourself. Why judge yourself? It doesn't do any good. You know? So what I would encourage you to do is, you don't even need to have a chair and stuff like this, but like in your mind's eye, when you close your eyes tonight, just bring to mind the person that hurt you. Actually, we can just do it. Okay. Let's do it together. Okay, so please close your eyes. Deep breath. In through your nose. And out through your mouth, and release your shoulders. So if this conversation was difficult for you to sit through, okay? Come back to the conversation again. I'll have these videos up. Come back to the conversation. And even if you have to come back to the conversation 10 times, try by all means to hear the conversation from a place of growth and a frequency of love. Try by all means to hear it from that perspective. And so now in this moment, what I would like for us to do while we take a breath, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. So what I would like for you to do is remember your first love. Remember, bring to mind that person that you had a crush on for the very first time in your life that you can remember. Bring to mind that person. We've all loved someone. We've all loved someone, and maybe they hurt us. Maybe they rejected us. Maybe they abandoned us. Maybe they loved us and, the relationship ended. Or maybe you're still with that person, but highly unlikely. So please bring to mind the person that you first loved. And if you want to, you can put your hands on your heart. Now, I would like for you to share with that person how much love you had for them. Maybe you never told them how much you really were crushing on them, how much you really loved them. Maybe you didn't have the confidence, maybe you didn't have the words. So, right now, You have the confidence and the words. Share with them. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please make sure that your eyes are closed through this experience, because you want to remember the first time you had a crush on someone and you absolutely loved them. Tell them how you felt in that moment of loving them. Express to them how it made you feel in your body and where you felt those sensations in your body. If there was disagreements in the relationship, if there was hurt, if there was pain, share with them how they hurt you and how you hurt them. Share. I will give you some time. It takes courage to be honest. And I'm proud of your courage. It takes courage to love, knowing that you can be abandoned. It takes courage to be truthful. It takes courage to be intimate. I'm proud of your progress. I'm proud of you. Now, what I would like for you to do is repeat after me while you look at this person that you first fell in love with. Please repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Please take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Please open your eyes. Yes. Smile. Good. Life is for you. And whenever you feel shame about the choices you've made in relationships, the choices you've made towards yourself, about your life choices, you can always come back to self-forgiveness. You can always practice this practice that we just practiced. Just bring to mind the person and just ask them for your forgiveness. It releases the energy. It allows you to become intimate with yourself and see how they've hurt you and you've hurt them. And by doing this, you release the shame. Slowly but surely, you release the shame. So, thank you so much for joining me. I love you long time. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.